I'm going to read an excerpt from Antoin Artaud's The Theater and Its Double, which is a hugely influential work published in 1958, where Artaud proposes his theory of the need for what he calls theater of cruelty, which is a concept that has influenced people like Kenneth Anger and even Jim Morrison, and the basic concept of it is to assault the audience through their senses in order to sort of wake them up from their numbness and their sleep. And this is sort of the manifesto of that, and the goal of bringing magic back to art, and so that it can actually serve a cathartic social function, and it has the power to heal. This book is really fascinating, by the way. Everybody should read it. He makes these really fascinating parallels between, like, the Black Plague in the Middle Ages and how it was a spiritual disease manifesting physically, and which is really difficult to prove, but it makes you really think about those things. Anyway, it is a question of knowing what we want. If we are prepared for war, plague, famine, and slaughter, we do not even need to say so. We have only to continue as we are, continue behaving like snobs, rushing en masse to hear such and such a singer, to see such and such an admirable performance, which never transcends the realm of art, and even the Russian ballet at the height of its splendor never transcended the realm of art. To marvel at such and such an exhibition of painting in which exciting shapes explode here and there but at random, and without any genuine consciousness of the forces they could rouse. This empiricism, randomness, individualism, and anarchy must cease. Enough of personal poems, benefiting those who create them much more than those who read them. Once and for all, enough of this closed, egoistic, and personal art. Our spiritual anarchy and intellectual disorder is a function of the anarchy of everything else, or rather, everything else is a function of this anarchy. I think he meant anarchy more in terms of, like, discord, really, because in a way, I mean, his ideas are kind of stemming from an anarchy against, like, the system. So, anyway, I am not one of those who believe that civilization has to change in order for the theater to change, but I do believe that the theater, utilized in the highest and most difficult sense possible, has the power to influence the aspect and formation of things. And the encounter upon the stage of two passionate manifestations, two living centers, two nervous magnetisms, is something as entire, true, even decisive, as in life, the encounter of one epidermis with another in a timeless debauchery. So, like, the power of, the power of sex, the power of, that connection and that eroticism, like, getting back to the, that power, bringing it to art. That is why I propose a theater of cruelty, with this mania we all have for depreciating everything. As soon as I have said cruelty, everybody will at once take it to mean blood. But theater of cruelty means a theater difficult and cruel for myself, first of all. And on the level of performance, it is not the cruelty we can exercise upon each other by hacking at each other's bodies, carving up our personal anatomies, or like Assyrian emperors sending parcels of human ears, noses, or neatly detached nostrils through the mail. But the much more terrible and necessary cruelty which things can exercise against us. We are not free, and the sky can still fall on our heads. And the theater has been created to teach us that, first of all. Either we will be capable of returning by present-day means to this superior idea of poetry and poetry through theater which underlies the myths told by the great ancient tragedians, capable once more of entertaining a religious idea of the theater, without meditation, useless contemplation, and vague dreams. Capable of attaining awareness and a possession of certain dominant forces, of certain notions that control all others, and, since ideas, when they are effective, carry energy with them. Capable of recovering within ourselves those energies which ultimately create order and increase the value of life, or else we might as well abandon ourselves now, without protest, and recognize that we are no longer good at anything but disorder, famine, blood, war, and epidemics. Definitely good at that stuff. Either we restore all the arts to a central attitude and necessity, finding an analogy between a gesture made in painting or the theater and a gesture made by lava in a volcanic explosion, or we must stop painting, babbling, writing, or doing whatever it is we do. So, yes, I think this is very interesting and profound, and I hope you get something out of it. Back to my paper.